Ladies and gentlemen, in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing happens just for the sake of it. For those who follow the politics of this country very closely, last year there was a by-election in Bungoma, which was occasioned by the election of Moses Masika Wetangula as the Speaker of the Senate. And William Samoei Arap Ruto, through his party, UDA party, sponsored a candidate against the Ford Kenya candidate in Bungoma. And most Kenyans actually questioned why William Ruto would sponsor a candidate against Ford Kenya, against Papua Roma, a man whose presidency is directly attributed to. And on this channel, I did a comprehensive analysis why William Ruto sponsored a candidate in Bungoma. And I'm going to share the link. But as fate would have it, Moses Masika Wetangula prevailed. But William Ruto wanted to achieve some objectives. And to achieve those objectives, he assigned none other than the Kakamega Senator, Boni Khalwale, to lead the campaigns. Boni Khalwale, currently as we speak, is the majority whip at the Senate, which means, politically speaking, Boni Khalwale is the senior-most politician at the national level from the Luhya nation. Because Speaker is just Speaker. Mudavadi, being the party leader of ANC, is no longer the party leader, is a cabinet secretary. And I knew so well that despite the fact that Wetangula prevailed, the objectives which William Ruto wanted to achieve at that particular time were still going to be achieved. And over the weekend, Boni Khalwale, the bullfighter, attended a homecoming for one of the people William Ruto appointed recently, I think one of the permanent secretaries, in Mumias. And I paid very close attention to his speech. Let me play for you that speech. You listen to it very carefully because it's going to form the basis of this analysis, because I strongly believe that Boni Khalwale's speech was a message from Ruto targeting Mudavadi and Wetangula. Listen in.
Sahi, I want to promise you, mimi hakuna kitu ninatafuta. Mimi natafuta jamii yetu iheshimike. Ninatafuta wanyonge wetu wapate. I promise you, 2027 tutakuja hapa one party, na hiyo chama itakuwa party yenye President William Ruto atakuwa amesimama. Hiyo ndio chama, tutapishana na ODM. Mkitamka pap, wewe ukijua sio uwazimu. I know what I'm doing. I have told nyinyi wote watu wa Kakamega mfanye kazi na president, and I'm telling you today, tusipofanya na president tutakuwa tukionea kwa vitu yenye watoto wanaita view. Sasa utakuwa ukiona kule Nyanza 3.2 billion ikitolewa, na hapa hakuna kitu inatolewa. Tufanye kazi na President William Samoei Ruto, because he's the CEO of the country.
Now, if you paid very close attention to that speech, Boni Khalwale is saying certain things. But before I dissect what Boni Khalwale is trying to say, let me also just play for you the speeches by a few individuals who attended that particular event, including Rashid Echesa, who is a close associate of William Ruto.
Sisi watu wa Western, kwa Biblia imeandikwa nani aliroga nyinyi? Nikisoma hayo maandishi iliandikwa kitambo, lakini mimi nikisoma na Ukristo wangu, hayo masomo inalenga mtu anaitwa Mluya.
Ndugu zangu, na waomba kwa heshima, msidanganywe. Sahi rais wa nchi hii ni William Samoei Ruto, upende usipende.
Unajua sometimes unaweza ogopa mtu ya kwamba huyu akiwa kiongozi atakuwa very dangerous person, but at the end of the day anakuja kuwa kiongozi ambaye atakuwa venye ulikuwa unafikiria.
Now, Boni Khalwale is saying 4 things because I want us to look at the objectives of his message. Boni Khalwale is saying 4 things. The first thing he's saying is that whatever he's doing is for the respect of his people. He wants his people to be respected. As we speak today in this country, the Speaker of the Senate comes from Western Kenya. The Chief Cabinet Secretary comes from Western Kenya. The majority whip comes from Western Kenya, and several other appointments. So I don't understand why this statement is actually meant for respect for the people of the Mulembe nation. Number 2, is also assuring the residents of Kakamega that in 2027, they will come with one party as Kenya Kwanza, one party. And that party is the party which will sponsor the presidential candidate. I want to assume it's UDA. Where will that leave Weta, and where will it leave Mudavadi? And the other thing he's saying is that all these things he's saying, he's not just saying them. He knows what he is doing. He's also making that very, very clear in the statement. And lastly, he's telling the people of the Mulembe nation that for them to get development from Kenya Kwanza, they must support the government, that they must work with Ruto. And personally, I don't understand what he means by working with Ruto, because already the senator is working with Ruto. The Chief Cabinet Secretary from Mudavadi comes from the Luhya nation, is working with Ruto. They have several ministers working with Ruto. Personally, I don't know what he meant, but he's emphasizing that they must work with Ruto for them to receive development, the way Nyanza are doing. But let us not get into all those. So I want us to look at the coded message which he delivered to Mudavadi and Wetangula. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without the support, the channel cannot be where it is now. Also, don't forget to check out my other channel where I teach people how to make money online. There are still a few videos. I think there are 8 or 7. Once they hit 10, we'll be good to go. But I want to encourage you to just go and check them out, because I know so many people are looking for jobs right now, jobs you can do even when you are working. Now, what do you think were the objectives of Boni Khalwale's speech? What message do you think he was delivering? The first message I got from that speech is that Boni Khalwale is telling Musalia Mudavadi about William Ruto's intention to take charge of Western Kenya politics. And he was very clear that in 2027, they'll come with one party, and that party will face ODM. He's not talking of ANC, he's not talking of Ford Kenya. For me, if you ask me, William Ruto has a clear strategy, a clear intention of how he's planning to kick out Mudavadi, to kick out Weta out of Western Kenya politics, and even force them to work with him, but under UDA. That's the first thing which is coming out. Number 2, I also think that Boni Khalwale is also trying to tell Mudavadi and Weta to fold their parties, ANC party and Ford Kenya. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto has expressed his interest in merging all these political parties to form one party. Wetangula refused, Mudavadi refused. Now Boni Khalwale is now taking that message, not in Nairobi, but is taking it from Nairobi straight to the voters down there. That Mudavadi must fold his party. Weta must fold for Kenya, if indeed they are keen on working with William Samoei Arap Ruto now and in future. So for me, I think that's a message which is also coming out based on the statement and the speech by Nani? Boni Khalwale. The third message Ruto is delivering to the people of Western Kenya is that you must join me. Let us look at the presidential votes in Kakamega. How are they? Raila Odinga whitewashed Ruto in Kakamega. And after that, because William Ruto was not sure of winning in Kakamega, what he did, he colluded with the IBC and they postponed the election of the governor for Kakamega. Because he knew Wafula Chebukati and the group were going to declare him, he believed that once he was declared, then Kakamega were going to vote for UD candidate. That did not happen. So in short, Kakamega defied Ruto. And that's why Boni Khalwale is telling them that you will only get development from Ruto if you support him. And how will they measure that support? Will that support be measured by people going to State House? Because he also explained that he will be organizing delegation to go to State House. So basically, Ruto is demanding that for me to develop Kakamega, you must support me. And the other message which is coming out very clearly is that Boni Khalwale is William Ruto's point person for Western Kenya. Otherwise, all these things Boni Khalwale is saying, someone else would have said them. Let's say Mudavadi would have been the person responsible for saying those things. Let's say Weta or a minister. But now Boni Khalwale is not speaking and is speaking with authority. That is not mad. That he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying. That all these parties will have to fold. That Western must work with Ruto if they expect development. So Boni Khalwale is now coming out as point person. In fact, in one of my videos on this channel also, I once explained to you guys that William Ruto was actually trying to elevate the profile of Khalwale. Because if you take Mudavadi, you take Weta and Khalwale, it's only Khalwale who stuck with Ruto in his party. And lastly, the other thing which is coming out is supremacy battle in Western Kenya. Who should be William Ruto's points person? Which party should be the dominant party? Is that party ANC? Is it Ford Kenya? Is it is it UDA? For me, that's what I got from that message. Thank you guys. May you have a good day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.